Hi. This is a brief intro, or I'm going to try and be as brief as possible, but I also, while being concise, I also want to be able to deliver as much information as I possibly can. And this is for two reasons. One, I'm aware that sometimes people don't want to watch videos longer than 5 minutes. And a few of my videos are anywhere between 20 minutes to a half hour, sometimes longer, depending on what I'm trying to cover. And occasionally they're shorter. However, I assure you is a point to it all, and that includes today's. And this intro is also to let you know that if you do not have an MSI motherboard, that this probably doesn't apply to you, or perhaps take the time, watch it, and find out maybe because you very well might be having a similar issue, and not even be aware of it. Okay, so I am running an MSI X570 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard, and I'm using their software with the motherboard software along with Lean Lead software and the AMD drivers, which also has the ability to overclock. So there was a lot of different things that I had to go through and troubleshoot to finally come up with a resolution to the problem that I was having, because you'd be quite surprised as to what it actually was, because I certainly was. And that's why I made the video, is because I feel people hardly need to know about this. But it might mostly, perhaps, be more geared towards people who own MSI motherboards, like B550s or X570 or whatever. Although, that being said, it's very well possible that manufacturers like Gigabyte or Asus are doing something similar and you wouldn't know it. And if that's the case, again, watching this, you would find out exactly what it is I'm talking about. Okay, so with that intro done, let's get into it, and we'll do the video right now. Okay. All right, a couple of things here. I was noticing that it seemed like when I was rendering videos, it just appeared to be slow, and I wasn't really sure why. Now, one thing I noticed, and I don't have no idea how this has happened. All I can tell you is that I have the most updated BIOS, the most updated chipset, and AMD software. Somewhere along the line, something is screwing with things. First off, let's see here. Yeah, speed. Now, the first thing I had noticed, super underclocked, like big time. So, and I have no idea why. The first thing I did is I went to settings, and then I went to system, and I went to power and sleep. And after that, advanced power settings. And here, see this? I didn't set this like this. This seems to be happening upon restart now. I don't know why this is like becoming the default setting, because I had already gone in here and changed it just a little bit ago. Now when I go back to putting it back to balanced, let me move this out of the way a minute. I start getting my speed back again. Now, what seems to be causing me the problem, and I'm not quite certain of this, is, move this over here. Okay, what seems to be the issue is Task Manager is reporting the speed as nearly 4 gigs, but where is it? But Ryzen Master shows 780 megahertz, as you saw there a moment ago. It's showing megahertz, not gigahertz. Okay, peak speed, and as you can see, it's not like thermal throttling. It's not a thermal thing. There is a setting someplace in here that's been, I think that it's causing the problem, and I believe it's starting off with something with here, because this software is showing it as 0.8 to 0.6 gigahertz. Like, they're all reporting differently. Trying to see if I can squeeze all of this onto the one screen. So we've got this Windows reporting 4 gigahertz, this reporting 0.9, and Ryzen Master showing 600 to 700 megahertz. I don't understand. And again, it seems like when I restart the machine, it come out of sleep mode or something. I haven't figured out which one it is, if it's when the computer goes to sleep or if it's happening at startup. This has been changed to power saver, and I don't know why. So now what I'm trying to do is figure out how to make it stop changing it to power saver, for one, and two, why aren't these reporting the same? I don't understand what is happening here, but this is set to default, just the way it is, because I have not messed with any of these. This one I specifically set to default. You see how it says default here? How did I do that? I think I changed it to basic view and click reset. No. Yes, there was a point where I clicked reset, and I also changed this to the default button because I was trying to default both Ryzen Master and this software here. And I actually, honestly, I do not really like the fact that there is CPU tuning in the graphic driver software. That's kind of frustrating, especially when it doesn't even match. It's not even working proper, and something is definitely downclocking my CPU too. And of course, what I figured that out to be the power, as I had mentioned here. And again, I'm not sure what's even changing that, but like I've changed it now here, so I should close that, and I should be able to leave it like that. Now what I'm going to do, I guess I'm going to pause the recording, restart the machine, and check on it. But I also do not, again, understand what is going on here with this. This is not correct, and neither is the Ryzen Master. And since I've defaulted them both, my understanding is that they shouldn't be, interrupting anything. But there is definitely something wrong. See? Megahertz. 0.7 gigs. I don't understand what is happening there. But they're both defaulted. I had already clicked reset on this one. And this is set to default. Control mode default. Now before all of this, before I made these changes, there was one point where it had said precision boost overdrive on here, which I had turned on in the BIOS. So something is getting in the way and affecting my clock speeds, and I'm not entirely sure exactly what it is. Like, what I did is I just set the softwares to default, and I'm going to go back into the BIOS, I guess, and change everything back to the way I had it initially. And I'm not sure if it's this or this, but neither of them are reporting the speed properly, even though they're all set to default. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I don't like it. But oh yeah, that's the problem I've been having. I'm gonna go into BIOS now. Okay, so now I'm in the BIOS. Everything, seems normal here, but I don't know how many of my settings have been changed. Everything here is the same. Precision boost overdrive is enabled. So if it hasn't changed any of my settings here, it looks like I have to specifically make changes in the software and tell it to use Precision Boost Overdrive, even though I already have it enabled. Originally, it was on auto, and I came in here and changed it to enabled. Okay. Back in Windows. So I think I have solved the problem. I'm not entirely sure. I went back into the power and sleep and then under additional settings. Upon restart, I noticed that it was back on power saver again. So I changed it from the power saver to balanced, closed it, reopened this, and then changed it from balanced to high performance. And when I was on high performance, I clicked change these settings and then clicked back. And I didn't change any of them. And then I clicked back, and when I clicked back, this was still clicked and it was bumped up. So power saver was now dropped down. They were swapped. Anyhow, the point being here is I think I figured out how to get rid of it from automatically going into power saving mode by changing my preferred plan. So let's see what happens. I'm going to do another restart of the machine, and hopefully this does not automatically go back into power saving mode, because that's going to be really frustrating. Alright, so I just restarted the machine. Let's see what happens then. Now, I'm going to right click here, go up to our power options, additional settings, and it's back to power saver again. What? Why? Why the hell does it keep doing that? I just don't understand. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it on this. And I'm going to just close that. Reopen it. Alright, the only other thing I can think of right now is this. And of course, when I go to click this, it's going to want me to restart the machine, so I'm going to have to stop the video and come back yet again. Okay, let's stop the video and I'll be back. So a moment ago, when I first opened this up, it had popped up a little dialog that showed me that it had overclocked both the GPU and the CPU. I was going somewhere with this. Even though this software, restarted and did all of this, it still doesn't show the right CPU clock, and also 1.7 gigahertz. Now, yet again, even though things are set to overclock, we're back here again. So I honestly, man, I just don't get it. And there you go. As soon as you change your power settings. So I don't know. I mean, obviously there's something with the drivers and the software has made a difference. I just don't know if it's the chipset, if it's these drivers software here, or what. But it says auto overclocking. So, yeah, if the software is supposed to be doing the job, or this one's supposed to be doing the job, they're both not reading things correctly. And again, this wasn't even turned on until I had clicked auto overclock. Now, I could always go back to default. I could default all of this. And I might I don't know. I mean, I might run a Cinebench run now or something. So let's see here. The power plan still up? Yeah. Okay, high performance. Alright, so we don't need that on. Oh, we don't need that open now. We want this one and this. Okay. Okay, now it's showing that, and okay, well, that load is done already. Like, it's already finished. 1669. Nice. Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't understand. They are all reporting differently. 4.15 gigahertz. Over here I have... Okay. This one's showing 800 megahertz. This one's showing 1.1 gigs. This one is showing what it really is. And it also drops down every single time I restart the machine because the power plans don't stay. So troubleshoot, right? So you're going to get that. As you saw, it was already there a minute ago, but what you do is write troubleshoot down here, or at least begin to click that, and then click additional troubleshooters, move down to power, find and fix problems with your computer's power settings to conserve power and extend battery life. Now, some of this I think might be more related to a laptop perhaps, but we're just going to go with it. On the troubleshooter, no changes or updates were necessary. So for that situation there, that means that does not work for me. So typing in CMD at the search, you see it right there. Right click, we're an administrator, then we're going to say yes. Here we're going to write POWERCFG space dash list, and right back. See, now it's showing me how it's on power saver. So after you put in power config dot list, and it lists what your current active plan is, you can then type restore default so you're supposed to restore default schemes. Should this is what I was supposed to do, and then that does that. I can't seem to get it to stop restarting in power saver, and I don't understand how to fix it, and it's driving me nuts. Alright, so I believe I figured out the problem. First I thought it was the AMD chipset, or perhaps updating my BIOS, or something to that effect. It had to be software, so I assumed that it was driver software because it has the ability to overclock your CPU, and also it wasn't reading the clocks properly. So I assumed that was the problem, but I've gone back and defaulted all of this, but it turned out not to be this software here anyhow. The point being is I was fairly certain that the issue that I was having with my speed and my power was software. I just couldn't figure out if it was Windows itself or the Ryzen Master, or that other software here, Adrenaline software. But I figured out, at least I'm fairly certain that I figured it out. I want to see if it happens in real time. Now I believe I've already restarted the machine here. Okay. Let's see what happens. Now, if I'm correct, I believe it is MSI Center, user scenario, this here. Okay, let's see what happens now. I don't know if I have to close this to see changes or what, so we're going to close this. I had this set to silent. Yep. It's this software right here. When you set your fans to silent through their automatic, tuning without doing some sort of a custom tune curve and fan speeds and things, uh, it downclocks your CPU and changes your power options. And I wonder if this thing changes in real time. Ah! You've got to be kidding me. So what happens here? What happens here? Well, the fans just started speeding up hardcore, but the power didn't go up to anything? Well, that is the most ridiculous thing. You would think that it would have, done something like this. What happened was my fans sped up like ridiculously. Unbelievable. It was my MSI Center software all this time. Oh my god. I actually am doing a complete facepalm thing here right now. Well, there it is, everybody. Now we know exactly what the problem is, at least with this particular time in this situation. Thanks for coming along. Wow. I just, oh my god, I can't even believe it. Alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. There'll be more stuff coming. Some things on some games and some software things as well. I've got more content coming soon. Okay. Thanks for watching.